C43 versus 400E. I had a really nice phone call this week from one of our subscribers, and so he was considering the purchase of a C43, and he had asked if I felt that the C43 was going to have long-term collectability. I had another question on a recent mailbag video from a subscriber asking about a W210 E55 AMG, asking if there was any long-term upside in those cars. So the problem with predicting long-term upside is you really don't know whether there's going to be upside in a car until everything comes at once. And one of the biggest problems with four-door Mercedes, especially from the late 90s, is that Mercedes started building disposability into their cars at that point. So you can't get into a C43 and you can't get into a 210. Sorry, I yawned, but that's just what happens when I talk about the W210. The 210 without really noticing how disposable the cars are. Also, Mercedes that have four doors tend to take longer to appreciate, and so their appreciation curve is like 30 years after the end of production. Even today we're having a hard time, my friend Rod and I were talking about this last night, even today we're having a hard time really finding appreciation in the marketplace for the W126, which is why they're such a bargain. But I would say to anybody who's looking at a W210 E55, don't buy it with an eye towards long-term potential appreciation. Just buy it as a car to have fun with. You know, don't be obsessed with fixing every little thing. Enjoy the car for what it is. The cost of upkeep and keeping a 210 E55 in perfect condition is going to be twice that of any profits you're going to make selling the car after 20 years, I promise. Same thing with the C43. Now, I think the C43 might be more collectible than the 210 E55, and I think that the C36 actually might prove to be more collectible than the C43, at least in the short term, because these were some of the first AMG versions. But the problem again with these cars is that they're 202s. I don't know if anybody on this channel has bought like a 202 C-Class out of the wrecking yard and tried to fix it up, or tried to restore a 202 C-Class. It's not easy, you know, especially when you get into electrical problems, transmission problems, vacuum problems, CAN data bus problems, security problems, you know, and a C36 replacing the head gasket. None of this stuff is really that easy to do. And the reason people love the cars like the 400E, which I think is a suitable comparison to these cars, or if you're in Europe, an E36, the reason that people love these cars is because they're much more repairable. Now, when I look at cars like the 400E, which is really underappreciated, I think if you're looking at a nice 400E, you have about 3 or 4 more years before they're going to start to get into 500E territory. That's just what I feel. And this is only for nice examples, not crappy, rusty, dirty, nasty 400Es. I mean genuinely well-preserved ones. Or the 9040 420, which is essentially the same car. So for more opinions about for more comments about my opinion of the future of the classic Mercedes market, be sure to drop us a line. If you notice, I've been attempting to check my comments more frequently because Thomas has admonished me thus. And so, you know, my response time now for most of you is going to be about a week. And in the meantime, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And be sure to leave a comment below and give us that thumbs up. And ring the bell for notifications. Thank you.